Okay, Vortex. I'd like to clarify the previous statement that was made in the last video. I said it's not your fault that another person is not conscious. I have to clarify this because if you get them drunk, it is your fault. Or if you knock them unconscious, if you smother them with a pillow, perhaps. No, but it's really not your fault that other people, like if they're blaming you for something, and, you know, you're not forcing them to behave a certain way. A lot of the time, people will blame others for the fact that they are taking something a certain way. And they'll say, oh, well, you said this. And because you said this, that's why I said that. Or you did this, and that's why I completely overreacted. Now, they never use that word. But you said something, or you didn't say something, or you didn't do something that I expected from you. And because of that, that's why I am entitled to this behavior. That's why I'm allowed to react in this totally irrational way. That's why I can bully you. That's why I can talk to you like you're a piece of shit. Because this is how I interpret your behavior. Now, I'm willing to listen to anybody that, you know, is mad at me and hear them out. And I can see it from their perspective, you know, like, I can see how they interpret it the way that they did. And if I'm really good, I can understand exactly why they're overreacting. But that doesn't justify it, you know? Like, just because I can empathize with their situation and be like, oh, it's probably because of this, this, or this. It's like, it still doesn't excuse it. And furthermore, if we can't even have this conversation, like if we can't talk about, you know, the underlying issue, and you see this so much with everybody, especially in romantic relationships, where it's like you're reacting to something else. So a person might be reminding you of something else that happened a long time ago. And you're not even taking that into consideration, that maybe the reason why you attracted this person or the reason why you're attracted to this person is because they remind you of that. And, you know, the universe has a funny way of forcing you to deal with these things. But because most people are not ready for this level of consciousness, because most people aren't ready for that level of personal growth, they're going to keep assuming that, oh, this other person's just totally erratic and wrong and terrible. But it's like, but you're the one that is hanging around them, you know? So, I'm just saying. It's definitely healing you guys. But yeah, I don't have to put up with anybody's shit. Like, I'll listen to somebody, I'll be berated because I don't give a shit. You know, I know myself really well. So back in the day, and this kind of amazes me, but back in the day, it would really bother me if somebody said ugly things to me and yelled at me and all this shit, but like I've said, you know, working in the restaurants for so long and doing stand-up comedy, getting called a racist, and it's like, who cares? Who cares? These people are just insecure. They're insecure, and I just feel sorry for them that they have to lower themselves to these tactics. Because I'm not doing that. You know, even when people are really mean to me, it's like I could say so many things back to them that would make them do something way more drastic, but I won't because I'm afraid that that's what would happen. But also, you know, that's just too low. I don't, even if what I'm telling them is the truth, it's like, it's not going to change them for the better. You know? Like this girl in the comedy scene that was really mean to me. It's like I could have said a lot of really mean things to her. Just based off of her terrible jokes, based off of her obvious lack of confidence, based off of her concentration on her physical appearance so she doesn't have to do any other kind of work on herself. She's a beautiful girl. Beautiful, beautiful girl. Just a horrible person, but I mean, I don't know. I didn't know her personally, but just from my take on her, not just the way she treated me, but the way she's treated other people, particularly women. I'm never mean to women. I'm never ugly to them, and they're so ugly to me. And yeah, I say mean things about women as a whole because I see the way that women treat other women, and I see the way that women treat men, and I see the stupid political shit that they get themselves involved in so that they don't ever have to take responsibility for themselves. And, you know, if feminism were more about effacement and self-knowledge and personal responsibility and accountability, I'd be all for that shit, but that's not what it's about. So, yeah, a lot of these women, they're just really infantilized. They act like they're 12 years old. So, yeah, I mean, I've had to deal with a lot of that shit, and you know, I still deal with it, like in my work. You know, there's women that they still behave like that. And I put up with it because it's the workplace. You just have to put up with that kind of shit. You have to put up with stupid drama, you know. I just try to avoid it and read my Bible and talk to my little dinosaur. Where's Propaganda at? Where's he at? Propaganda! Where did you go? He's somewhere around here. There he is. There he is. Say hi. Say hi. It's a silent hi, okay? But yeah. I'd much rather talk to him than anybody at my work, okay? Because he's the only one that makes any sense. Yeah, I'd definitely rather talk to him than talk to fucking women. But, yeah, you know, I feel for him, though. I really do, because they're just so insecure, and they have to resort to these very, childish tactics. And I just see a lot of people doing that. I see men acting just like women because of that, because, you know, they're infantilized and they don't know how to face things that have happened to them in their past, and, you know, people that have felt have wronged them. And so they're always like taking that out on other people that remind them of that experience. And, yeah. You can't do anything for these people, just pity them. Because it's not like you can help them, because if you try to help them, they'll get the wrong impression of that. And if you tell them the truth, they won't be able to handle it. So you just gotta love them from a distance. Pray for them. Even if it feels useless, keep doing it, because you don't know what might take. You just never know. So, yeah. Anyway, nothing much more to add to that.